With this, I'm moving forward to introduce our representative from Georgia Department of Economic Development, Ms. Mary Waters. She is a Deputy Commissioner for International Trade for Georgia Department of Economic Development, a great partner for UIBS. We started UIBS in 2010 with their support. Mary, thank you for being here. Since 2015, Mary Waters has served as Deputy Commissioner International Trade for the Georgia Department of Economic Development. In this role, she oversees the state's international trade program, which provides services to contribute to expand Georgia's exports, the creation and retention of jobs, attribution to exports, and also use internationalization of Georgia's economy. Georgia's international trade program helps export-focused companies, industries to expand their international sales through market intelligence, problem-solving, consultations, and meaningful contributions to key international opportunities. Under the leadership of Mrs. Waters, Georgia became a top 10 exporting state for the first time in 2020, and the International Trade Division earned E-Star Award for Excellence in Export Services for an unprecedented 4th time from the U.S. Department of Commerce. During the 2021-2022 term, Mrs. Waters also serves as president of the State International Development Organization, SIDO, the premier U.S. organization dedicated to supporting state international trade agencies and state development programs. Previously, Mrs. Waters served as a senior international trade manager with GDEcD's Global Commerce Division, managing medical and biotech industry statewide and helping small and medium-sized healthcare companies successfully to export internationally. Mary, welcome.
Wonderful. Well, Ani, John, thank you both very much for your support, and thank you for your time this morning and this afternoon. It really is a pleasure to be here and to continue to support the work of the U.S. India Business Summit and the work of Georgia Tech Center for International Business Education and Research. International partnerships are really at the core of everything that the Department of Economic Development focuses on in support of our mission to grow jobs and grow investment in every corner of our state. I'm a little biased, but I'm incredibly proud of the work that our department is doing to spur trade, to increase domestic and foreign direct investment into our state, and all of the jobs and all of the opportunities that creates for Georgians statewide. So for those of you who are not familiar with the role of the Department of Economic Development, we are an executive level agency, and essentially we're the sales and marketing arm for the state of Georgia. So our responsibility is to provide resources to clear the path, to help companies understand what tools and resources and guidance they might need, both to make informed investment decisions here in the state, but also from my role of working in export development, making sure that companies understand and are placed correctly to take advantage of global opportunities. The continued economic vitality of our state really depends on strong international partnerships and the activity of our business community to be furthering those linkages. And again, the role of our department is to kind of clear the field, right? And to make sure that companies understand the opportunities, that they have access to information, they're making market-driven decisions about which markets to enter, and that they feel that they have the full support of the Department of Economic Development as they make those business decisions for the long-term growth of their companies. I do want to take a significant amount of time in my short remarks to talk about the strength of India as a bilateral partner for the state of Georgia. Clearly at the national level, in a rapidly shifting geopolitical environment, the dialogue between the US and India, the actions that India is taking to be a full partner in global geopolitical affairs is incredibly important. We are allies, we are democracies. That opens up a lot of opportunities. And so the national level dialogue is incredibly important to the work that we do subnationally to continue to open up markets and create new opportunities. But for Georgia, it really is a diverse mix. We have a strong consular and diplomatic partnership. We have incredibly strong commercial ties, which I will get into in a moment. We have Indian students studying here and Georgia students studying in India. That is an incredible asset when we have that workforce development and that student exchange, cultural exchange. We have an incredible and diverse Indian diaspora community that furthers sort of the economic development and trade and investment links that the state is seeking. Just on the trade side alone, India has really rapidly grown to be the 6th largest export market for Georgia and our 10th largest trading partner overall. Last year in 2022, bilateral trade between the state of Georgia and India was roughly $6.2 billion. And that figure has doubled in just 2 years. Exports from Georgia to India have nearly tripled in 2 years. And so it really is very difficult to overstate how rapid the growth has been and the economic growth has been as India is opening up, as India is taking a larger role on the global stage. And how important our partnerships are and our linkages are. I was really fortunate to be able to travel to India in February of this year to be able to see firsthand how rapidly the country is developing, to see how dynamic the opportunities are, and to give me a better read to better support Georgia-based companies who are looking not just to sell into India, but are looking for partnerships and long-term growth opportunities. That really is at the heart of what we do. And I came away from that trip really, I think, with a very solid understanding of what are some of the sectors where Georgia can be doing more and where our companies really need to be engaged and really need to be seeking out new partners and new business development in India. This is certainly true for our state's aviation and aerospace industry, everything happening in the e-mobility space and automotive strength. It really has to do with our medical device sector. I believe there are opportunities. Certainly for food, beverage, and agriculture, there are opportunities. As India continues to grow, Georgia's expertise in energy technologies and sustainability and energy transition, these are definitely core sectors where there are important intersections between Georgia companies and businesses in India, where we can really pursue mutually beneficial trade opportunities. And I was really pleased to have the opportunity to see with my own eyes what more we really can be doing to empower our Georgia companies to take advantage of opportunities and diversify their markets. I think in the current geopolitical environment, diversification is the name of the game, and recognizing that it is truly a global marketplace and that it is in our best interest to have deep economic ties with close friends and allies. That is more important than ever. And so I will just sort of end my remarks by saying this summit is incredibly important to really take a deeper dive into what we can be doing to deepen our bilateral partnership. At the Department of Economic Development, our focus is always to build on our international relationships and to make sure that they are as strong as they can be, because the longer we kind of lean into these partnerships, the stronger the relationship becomes, and that opens up whole new worlds of economic opportunities that simply can't exist if we take a more transactional view to our economic relationships. So with that, again, thank you to the organizers, thank you to Georgia Tech and the US-India Business Summit, and all of the partners and sponsors for convening this summit and really kicking off this dialogue. It's incredibly timely, and it's important to the continued strength of Georgia's economy. So thank you.
Thank you, Mary. We really appreciate your remarks and all the efforts you and Georgia Department of Economic Development is doing in terms of growing the trade with India. We have a couple of questions here, if it's okay with you.
Absolutely.
Okay. So India is now Georgia's 9th largest export market, with the top 5 products which are exported from Georgia to India are aircraft, parts and engines, cotton, wood pulp, medical instruments, and electrical machinery. Mm-hmm. What other categories of products we can export to India, and what are the steps that Georgia is taking in this direction?
Wonderful question. So the top exports from Georgia to India really do represent some of our largest industries in the state. And I will just say, I think aviation, aerospace related exports, both defense and civilian, will continue to offer a lot of opportunity for Georgia companies in India as we sort of embark together on India's growth. In terms of other sectors, I think it is important to mention that that India can still be a very complex market to enter. It is not the easiest in terms of business development. You really need to do your homework and know your stuff to really take full advantage of the opportunities that exist there. But I would like to continue to open up channels for agricultural trade. Specifically Georgia pecans. There was a big win recently that Georgia's congressional delegation and our Senator Ossoff and Warnock really helped get behind to lower the tariff on Georgia pecans getting into the Indian market. It's that kind of combination of federal policy and subnational engagement that's really going to get us where we need to go in terms of the relationship. But certainly doing more to open up ag trade. Again, the medical sector, I think, when you've got life-changing technologies and health IT, these are opportunities that may fit well in the Indian market and all of the development that India is doing in biopharmaceuticals and medical device. I think that opens up opportunities. And then sustainable energy, energy transition, renewables, clean tech, and really developing technologies together. I think those are some areas of future growth that we will start seeing in export statistics shortly. To get to the other part of your question, which is what is the state of Georgia doing for that? Our focus is educating companies about where to focus their resources, where to go for information, how to really make market-driven decisions for their export growth. And I think what you're seeing from us at the Department of Economic Development now is more of a consistent focus on that things in India are changing rapidly, and that when you're really looking to diversify, but you're looking for a high growth and high impact market, India really is that location. And so we're really doing a large educational push with our companies across sectors, working in concert with the US Commercial Service and their team on the ground in India to really help get companies' questions answered and understand the market potential, and most importantly, connect with customers in India so that they can have a very fruitful relationship.
Great. Wonderful. Well, we know that Georgia is in good hands, and hopefully in our future edition of these events, we would like to hear more from you and your colleagues about the growth of trade between India and Georgia. Thank you very much, Mary. I appreciate that. And keeping on time, I want to thank you and welcome you to join as an audience now or stay with us